Good evening again, YouTube DIYers and anybody following me on Facebook. This is part number 8, the first finish coat of marine paint on the Gheenoe. We've sanded the primer down with 180 grit sandpaper. I used the palm sander on all the flat spots that I could, and then I got my my sanding sponge. You can buy the sanding sponges in 180 or 150 and just use those, but I had lots of 180 paper, so I just get some paper and I wrap it around it to sand the curvy areas. So after it's all sanded, you're gonna wipe everything down with acetone again, make sure it's good and clean, all the dust is off of it, you know, all the raised edges. And then you're gonna get your total boat, top side paint, wet edge, and you're gonna follow the instructions on that. You know, make sure you're not doing it during the rain or really high humidity, or really low temperatures or extremely high temperatures. Gonna go back to your 4-inch roller, your mohair rollers from the previous video, your 4-inch disposable brushes. Some people are gonna say make sure you buy oil-based paint brushes, but this is self-leveling paint, so it's gonna lay out pretty good. And you're gonna buy this special brushing thinner compound that's made by Total Boat, and it'll tell you, you know, how to dilute it. In my area, it said like 5 to 10%, and it said start off with 5, so that's what I did. I got my measuring cup. I measured out 16 ounces to begin with, and I wound up having to do another 8 ounces, but that was still too much, so that's why I should drain it in there. So I got my little measuring cup there, and I had to measure out 0.08, so we'll focus, 0.08 ounces of the thinner for 16 ounces. You can do the math, figure it out yourself. So you mix it up in your container, and then you pour it into your rolling pan. Bring your brush, bring your roller, go over here and start out in just the same way as the primer coat. It's the roll and tip method. Then you start off with a section, say from there to about right there. And you're gonna wanna roll. You can roll back and forth, side to side and up and down, but you need to finish rolling side to side, because when you tip it with the brush, you're still gonna see those vertical stripes if all you do is roll up and down. So your finished roll should go that way, all right? And then your brush, the same way. You grab your brush and you feather out the edges whenever you come into your previous section. Lift the brush. This stuff is more forgiving than the primer. It doesn't dry as fast. As you can see, it's pretty daggum shiny. I just finished about 10 minutes ago. And it says about 16-hour dry time. So, you know, just take your time, make sure you do everything right. You have to sand between coats. I do recommend doing this somewhere that's completely covered by plastic, because you might not see it, but there are a ton of bugs all over this boat right now. But since it's the first coat and I'm gonna come back and sand, all these bugs are gonna get sanded off, so I'm not overly concerned about that. But my final coat will be done in my shop in a controlled environment. And then we'll be done with this boat, guys. 3 coats and we're done. Hope this information helps somebody out. If you have any questions, I'd be happy to try to answer them. Good luck, Godspeed.